All right. What's going on, everybody? This is Lavish T. Williams. Thanks for tuning in today on the Lavish T. Williams podcast. Today we got a special guest in the house. I'm not sure who all have heard of the individual that I got on the show today, but as you can see by the bottom of my screen, Dear Queen, Volume 2, written by Dr. Eddie Connor. We got Dr. Eddie Connor in the house today. Can we get some noise? Can we get a round of applause for Eddie Connor? Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Dr. Eddie Connor, man, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, man. How's it going?
Great, brother. Glad to be on the show, man. The lavish lifestyle, so that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, man.
Yeah.
So today, man, we got a lot of things we want to talk about, man, about you, man. I don't even know where to start at first, but first I want to let everybody know Dr. Eddie Connor, he has a new book that he wrote called Dear Queen 2. That's the book that just came out this month, and he's pushing it. It's in bookstores, Amazon, Apple. What's some other places where this book is located at, where they can find this book?
Yeah, Audible, Barnes & Noble. My website, dreddieacademy.com/Dear Queen, where you can get a signed copy.
Okay, there it is right there, man. So I guess we're going to talk about this book because that's what we really here for, as well as a host of other things. So we got this book, Dear Queen. This is actually your 13th book.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. How long has it been since you started? I mean, when did you start writing books?
Boy, started writing literally with $1 and dream my name in a dorm room, finishing up at Eastern Michigan University. And, I had a story that I never really wanted to share with anybody. I'd gone through cancer.
Right. I heard about that.
2022 marks 22 years of me being cancer free, and to go through stage 4 cancer and be in high school, man, and not thinking that I was going to even make it.
Right.
See my next birthday. My father not in my life. I'm dealing with chemo and radiation and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and man, it was just a tough time. And so my mother says, "Yeah, you need to write your story." I'm like, "What story is that?" She said, "You know what story I'm talking about. Your story is not just for you, it's to bless somebody else." And so as I was writing, I was healing. As I was writing, I was really moving to a place of therapy. I was forgiving my father who wasn't there for me.
Okay.
And wrote my first book, Finding the Can in Cancer. And I said, I'm only going to write one. Mama, this for you. Don't ask me for nothing else.
and it kept going ever since.
Kept going. After you write the first one, everybody asking you, when's the next one coming?
Nah, writing a book, man.
Yeah.
I never wrote a book. People have said to me, man, Lavish, you should really consider writing a book. And I never just actually sat down and thought about writing a book, man.
Yeah.
How much work is involved with writing a book?
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work involved. I mean, the main thing is consistency. And you got to dedicate the time every single day. I don't care if it's 15 minutes. I don't care if it's 20 minutes. Me, I go crazy with it.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm doing 20 pages in a day. I go pretty crazy with it because I got to go off of inspiration. I don't write anything that's forced. It's got to be a flow for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying 13 books though,
Right,
man.
right.
That's a lot of books. What inspires you to write a book?
Just life in and of itself. If I feel that there's a need, if there's something that I get a little pulse on, or if I get a download, God gives me something, man, and I just go ahead with it. Like with this second book, the second iteration of Dear Queen, I only plan to write just one installment of Dear Queen. I wrote this in 2017, the original, and it really the genesis of it came from me writing love letters to girls in school. Yeah, for real. Used to be ill with the pen, write a little love letter to a girl in school, slip it into a locker anonymously, and
so you was a natural Romeo.
Yeah, I think I was, man. I was doing a little poetry, and fellas kind of found out, and they're like, "Yo, write a love letter for Shorty over there, but you got to keep your name off it, though. I'll break you off some lunch money, get you pizza and a hot chocolate or whatever on Friday."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And so I just said, after years later, going through high school and all that, if I can write a love letter to a girl, why can't I write a book of love to women?
All right.
To love yourself and to know your worth. And Malcolm X said the most neglected, unprotected, and disrespected woman on the planet is the black woman. And oftentimes when our sisters stand on the front lines, us as brothers stand on the sidelines. And so I wanted to really speak to the value that our women possess, and especially with this second portion of Dear Queen, how to wear your crown, walk in authority and authenticity is the main caption of it. And we're seeing a lot of stuff with hypermasculinity and male affinity, alpha male affinity, and a lot of misogyny.
No, break it down to us, man. We got to know. We want to know. I want to know about it, man.
Oh, for sure. We've seen a lot about it, and we're seeing our sisters. A lot of them are getting the onslaught of, oh, they're so masculine. And I really wanted to speak to the whole aspect of our sisters can maintain their femininity in society. And oftentimes our sisters are masculine, quote unquote, simply because us as men are not stepped into the place where we need to step in as leaders, as individuals who walk in a place of masculinity and vulnerability. And I'm not talking about toxic masculinity either.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't even like that terminology. I don't like that, as if being born masculine, and being born male is automatically a detriment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, we see that in the black community, man. I mean, even
like
for myself, man, I feel like as a guy, we natural born, strong, tough guys.
Yeah, right. Right.
It's hard to break down and get through the tissues,
Hard to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard, man. So the thing behind the book, what was the motive behind it? I mean, you got the first series out.
Right.
Were you getting a lot of feedback from it where you said, hey, it's a continuation to that?
It's like you read my book already. I wrote that in there. I said, I felt like Dear Queen wasn't a finalization. It was more like a continuation of a conversation.
Okay.
And this became like, this was like Dear Queen became like my thriller. You know what I'm saying? It's like my thriller album in book form.
All right.
And so many people kept buying it. And I said, you know what? Let me write a second part of it, because I didn't feel as if I said everything that I wanted to say.
All right.
I didn't even really deal with the whole aspect of the crown. As there's a crown on the front cover of this book as well as the previous one. And I really wanted to get into the whole aspect of even bringing our brothers into the conversation with Dear Queen. I mean, what is a queen without a king?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so really wanted to get into all of that and really talk about the authority and the authenticity and being bold and being who you are. In a day and age where everybody wants you to be a carbon copy of everybody else.
That's what we're living in today.
Yeah.
If this is cool and acceptable, then everybody should follow.
Facts.
Is nobody having self-identity anymore. They don't have their own self-identity anymore. Yeah. So what is the role of the queen, and how should the queen wear her crown?
Yeah, I think it really emanates from personal value. Personal value is really the thing in that whole aspect for loving yourself. We're going to all go through something. I remember I was going through my whole aspect of cancer. My mama told me, and that being the reason why I wrote Queen in the first place, she said, a knockdown is not a knockout unless you stay down. You got to get back up again. The canvas is no place for a champion. Big Sean said last night took a L, but tonight I bounced back.
Yeah, you bounced back, man. Yeah. Definitely, man. Let's talk a little bit about the cancer thing. We're going to go back on the book, man.
Right.
You had stage 4 cancer.
Stage 4, yeah.
Stage 4. Now, let's break it down for the individuals out there. We all heard of cancer. We got the thing, F cancer, man, because it's taking a lot of people out.
Right.
It took loved ones from me as well. Stage 4 cancer. Explain to me what stage 4 cancer is, as well as the people that's listening.
Yeah, cancer is really just the whole aspect of where your cells replicate and they don't die off. Cells are supposed to live and die off. If they're not dying off, then there's a tumor that forms. And so that tumor was forming around my heart, my trachea, my esophagus, my voice box, and I use my voice for a living. And I couldn't breathe by halftime watching a football game of my homeboy's house. His mother takes me to the hospital. My mother meets me there. The doctors do a CT scan of the chest. They thinking this, maybe it's pneumonia, is some allergic reaction or something. Take me to another hospital. They they need to cut me open immediately, take me to surgery. They see my cells in my body growing so fast they could see them growing with the naked eye. And felt great coming out of surgery. They removed the mass in my chest, and I wanted to get back and play basketball. My favorite 2 classes in school were gym and lunch.
All right.
Wanted to chase the girls at gym and then sit down and eat with them at lunch. And doctor said, hold on, there was cancer that was found in your body. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Stage 4 cancer. And you're going to have to do some chemo. We're going to have to do some radiation. And, it wasn't specifically that, hey, it's a fail proof. I may live, I may not.
All right.
And by the grace of God, I was able to find the can in cancer and live through dying places. And there's a lot of dark days of depression, mental discombobulation. You question yourself. You questioning, who you are as an individual. And are you going to be able to bounce back? And you see everybody else in your age group being a regular teenager, being a regular kid, and now you saying, why me?
Right.
You know?
Now, the way you just said that,
Yeah.
you said everything in like, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But that, in reality, that's not how it worked out.
Right.
You're in high school.
Yeah.
Found out you got stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
You got to go through chemo. Psychologically, how did that affect you mentally? How did you cope with that, knowing I might die? I could die.
Yeah.
Something might not work out, and you're growing. How did you deal with that?
Boy, it was tough. Without my mother being there, taking time off of work, and she's a 30-year educator, coming to visit me, coming to get off her lunch break and just be there for me and tell me to take off the pity party hat and loving me, because I wanted to give up. I wanted to get up out of here. It was her love for me that made me fight. And I really had nobody else, and so you take into the edge of your mind, and I had to just dig within myself and say, all right, I'm going to be determined. I would look at, all of my favorite athletes and entertainers and stuff like that. Those were my quote unquote father figures at that time. Right. I remember I saw how competitive Jordan was. He would, motivate himself and will himself. And I'd use all the things that people would possibly say against me, and people didn't think I was going to live. People you thinking of praying for me, you're literally praying on you.
All right.
Sitting on the sideline expecting your demise. And so I just had to just listening to you, whether it's getting in God's word or reading something motivational, to really will myself to say, all right, I'm going to beat this thing and I'm going to be better than when I started.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, were you still attending school at some point, fighting the cancer? Yeah. And I know high school, you're high school, right?
Right,
so
high school.
I know high school, you got kids and, they say harsh things, and everything. How did that affect you dealing with children if they harassed you, bullied you, picked on you, or did you even have to worry about any of that stuff?
Yeah, that never even happened at all, because I wasn't even strong enough to go to school at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was on the homebound program, and if anything, everybody was wondering where I was at.
Okay.
And I didn't even want to get into where I was at and this, that, and the other. So I was on the homebound program. I was just too sick to even go to school. I was able to get work done when I was able to get work done. I don't even know how I graduated with my class with a credit more than what I needed.
Hey, well, however you did it, God found a way for you to do it.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure, because it was tough. It was some tough stuff.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine.
Yeah,
I mean, when you look at someone else's life, you can see just the exterior.
Yeah, right.
But you never really have an idea what's going on within the interior of the individual and how strong that individual has to be deep down within inside.
Yeah.
And he's fighting the world with a strong face on the outside, man. So, that's pretty deep. That's pretty big, man, for you to actually be going through that kind of stuff in high school, keeping everything together and graduate. Did you graduate on time?
Yeah, on time.
On time, man. That's a blessing. That's a big thing. What high school did you go to?
Went to Benedictine and I transferred over to Ferndale High.
Okay, Ferndale.
Yeah,
Okay. All right, that's something, man. So let me ask you this, man. Dr. Eddie Academy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, man. You got different classes for different academies, man, dealing with faith, identity, relationships, and speaking training.
Right.
Yeah, let's elaborate that, man. Let's elaborate on that, man. What's the Faith Academy about?
Well, it's all under one. It's just different aspects.
Okay, it is. It's not
to
one.
The academy. Yeah, it's all under one. You just certain things I touch on that can be grouped under faith, identity, relationships, and speaker training. And I wanted to start this, especially with COVID-19 that was going on at the height of it. I felt people needed community. People needed transparency. People needed connectivity.
Okay.
And it was an opportunity to be able to do what I do, literally from the comfort of my home via computer or phone. Mm-hmm. And just really bring people into the whole aspect of not losing hope, being able to develop relationships. What do relationships look like in the aspect of a pandemic, and how to pandemic proof relationships, and recognizing your value, and really developing your speaker gift, because everything is not, on a platform and in a conference room. Now it's in a Zoom room.
All right.
Yeah.
That's the way of the world today.
Right.
Today. Now, when we talk about this academy, man, is it an in-person? Is it an online academy? how can people be involved with this academy? Give us some information about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's myself as well as a lot of other individuals who are, just quote unquote students of the game that we're really mastering life, where anybody can be a part of it. We do our sessions on Zoom. We have our private group where we always connect. We pride ourselves on collaboration over competition. Mm-hmm. People can register and be a part of it at dreddieacademy.com. They can sign up, they can register, and they can really be a part of our empowerment sessions.
Oh, that's great. That's
anybody.
That's great.
Anybody who's listening. Listen, you want to take your life to the next level in regards to purpose, in regards to taking your value and who you are to the next level. This is the academy for you.
Oh man, that's great, man. Now, also, you were a teacher.
Yeah, man.
You were a teacher in the school system.
Yeah.
You did a lot. I mean, you got to listen. Everybody that's listening, man, he got a rap sheet. When I say a rap sheet, he got a long list of accomplishments that he has completed, man. So talk about the whole teaching thing, man. How did that come about? You're a teacher in the Detroit public schools, or just the school system in general? School system in general,
Ferndale public school system, but all the kids are from the D. You know what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
Yeah. And so I went to school, I thought I was going to go to school for psychology. Then I thought I was going to go to school for business. I wound up going to school for education. I started doing a mentoring program up at Eastern Michigan and doing some summer school teaching and stuff like that there. And I said, man, these 7th, 8th grade year old students, who look like me when I was them, they need some direction. Mm-hmm. And I felt it was an opportunity for me to pour back into, my younger person, my younger me. And I said, hey, I'm gonna pursue an opportunity to be a teacher. Plus, I get the summers off. The pay ain't always that great, but it ain't for an award; it's for a reward.
Yeah. It's always a bigger picture.
Yeah. And so, taught school for 12 years. 12 years on the high school level, and then towards the end, for the last 5 years, I taught on the collegiate level. So I was doing both college and high school.
Man, I mean, the way you sound with the accomplishments, man, it sound like you about a 50-year-old.
Man, it feels like it sometimes. Like I lived that type of life.
Goodness gracious, man, you definitely did a lot, man. Now you were born in Jamaica.
Raised in Jamaica, born here.
Raised in Jamaica.
Yeah,
How was that? How was childhood in Jamaica, man?
Man, I loved it. My father's from the islands. My mother and father used to be missionaries to the island of Jamaica. My mother still goes back. And, just seeing the third world perspective. I mean, hey, we got the hood here. A lot of times they got the hut.
Okay.
And, to see how blessed, the people are in Jamaica, those who have and those who may not have. I grew up in Kingston for part of my life. Yeah, man, no problem. What the thing? Real thing, man.
Yeah, so, I was gonna ask you about that.
Yeah, I came back over here, and got teased out of my accent.
Now, how long were you? How long were you actually down there? Did you
about 2-3 years?
2 or 3 years. It didn't take long.
Didn't take long. I was young, though. I was about 4 or 5, my brother and I. And so you acculturate real quickly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Pick up the accent, this, that, the other. And I used to play soccer. I was really playing, as they call it, football.
Yeah.
I was playing soccer before I was really dribbling the basketball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you come back here, hey, you got to hoop.
You got to hoop, man. It's basketball or football, man. One or the other, man.
Exactly.
Being down there in Jamaica, and I hear so many different stories. I personally never been. Was it rough down there? Did you see a lot in your early childhood stages? Did you actually witness some of the stereotypes, some of the bad things that spoke upon as far as being from Jamaica, down in Jamaica?
Yeah. I mean, it's crime everywhere. I saw some stuff. My parents shielded me pretty well, as a little kid. But I mean, hey, I think, just a tough mind itself that I have, disposition, all that. I think that came from there, because, a lot of times we're complaining what we don't have here.
Right.
You go and live in a third world country down there.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Totally different, man. Totally different. So we're not just blessed, we spoiled over here.
It kind of goes back to, I'm not sure if you keep up with boxing. It kind of goes back to what Don King had once said. that he's proud to be from the USA. He's
Yeah,
proud to
yeah.
be American.
Yeah.
And, people look at him and take different things from him. But when he breaks down why, he's proud to be American.
Yeah.
And you see how they are in third world countries, I think you can get a better understanding of why you would be proud to be American, seeing that, like you say, we get away with so much. We're spoiled over here.
Right.
And we're accustomed to a lot of stuff. I don't even think that a lot of our attitudes will allow us to even survive in some of these countries,
True.
just because of how we are here.
Yeah.
And I'm only speaking in Detroit because when we go out of town, and I say Detroiters, we always so on the edge, so aggressive, so our chests out.
Yeah.
And even for me, sometimes when I go out of town, I have to readjust myself.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at me, what are you looking at? When some people are just looking because they haven't seen you and they want to introduce themselves. We're always on the edge.
Right.
And when you go to these other countries, man, they not going for that. We think we're tough. We think we bad. We think we seen some stuff, man, but there's some stuff over there, man, that these kids in these third worlds grow up living and doing, and we're not even ready for that kind of stuff, man. I mean, I'm glad to be American.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad to say that I'm American, because I don't even think I can survive, and the living conditions in some of these areas is just horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, but if that's all you know, then that's all you know.
Right. Yeah. True. It's, it's tough to go over to Europe and Jamaica and Africa, talking about 7 Mile, talking about from the east side of where, East Africa, what you know what I'm saying? And so just, having pride for, your hood and your block and stuff like that, but also being open to recognize the value in other people's, territories and stuff like that.
Right.
That's important.
Now, you're a mentor. You mentor the youth. What programs do you got going over with the youth?
Yeah. I have 2 programs that I have: Boys to Books, focus on literacy, leadership, life skills, enrichment, and then Gifted for Greatness Mentoring, where we focus on a RISE aspect, which is responsibility, identity, success, and education. And it's really just an opportunity for me to give back to my younger self. I didn't really grow up with a mentor. My father wasn't in my life, and the mentors who did come along, I'm grateful those brothers helped me to become the man who I am today. But I see there is still, a gap in between that we got to tighten up. We got to give an intergenerational transfer of not just wealth, but also wisdom. And then I'm also seeing the whole aspect as well, because my mentoring has now been growing out of just 13, 14, 15-year-olds. Brothers who are in their 20s.
Right.
And even beyond that, men need mentors. You can't even spell mentor without men.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so as we get older, a lot of times we feel, okay, you just got to figure it out for yourself. It's hard for us to ask for help because a lot of times we don't want to be associated with anything form of weakness, soft, feminine.
Right.
But, us as men, we need the older brothers. We need the older cats who have blazed the trail to be able to show us this is what you do. This is how you go. Then when you're 40, when you're 50, certain things may happen. This is what you do.
Right, but we don't have that no more.
Yeah, right.
We don't have that. The era is totally different than what it once was. And then life itself has changed, where some of the older guys that were stern in certain ways, the world we living in, we have to be a little more relaxed.
Right.
Because a lot of guys, they stress different than how they're stressing now.
Yeah.
Before, you had men, they had to take care of a household. They didn't have no other way but to find, opportunities to provide for their families. And we can sit back and we talk about, man, how much money they did not make now, but back then, they had to do what they had to do with what they had.
Oh, for sure. Right.
Financially, we make a lot more money. And you still have individuals out here that can't, take care of a household for various different reasons.
Right.
For various different reasons. And then they actually see some of the fathers, households didn't come. They didn't come with men. So some of these men, they do not know how to take care of a household. But then what do you feel, about this? What do you feel about the men out here that's trying to take care of a household, and financially it's like a financial burden to them? They're carrying the weight of the world on their shoulder while trying to hold their head up high.
Right.
if financially they're not able to provide in the world that we're living in now, and when I say the world that we're living in now, we have women that's able to provide for a household.
Yeah.
You have some men that they just can't. They're not comfortable with that.
Right.
They're not mentally comfortable with that. Where I feel as a pair, you guys should grow together, but then you have some guys that's just old head. They don't want that, and they deal with the stresses of the world when it comes down to a lady being the provider. What do you take of that as far as men?
Yeah, our value according to society is in our masculinity and our money, and when those things are seemingly attacked or is not what it used to be,
right? Then
we start to now feel bad about ourselves. And I mean, we're seeing a day and age that, the average black woman, just the average woman in general, is out earning a man. She's got more education. She's making more money. And I think as a man, you have to not see that your value is specifically based upon the amount of money that you bring or that you don't bring in. Society wants everybody to now on social media, you got to be a 100K earner. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a 6-figure earner. If you're not a 6-figure earner, you're not doing nothing. And, a lot of these people who quote unquote, quote, supposed to be 6-figure earners crying about the gas prices too. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, it's a mirage. Everybody's not doing what everybody seemingly is doing. And a lot of it is a filter. And I think one of the things is we got to get to the place to recognize we're better together. A woman out earning you does not make you less of a man. If anything, you bring something to the table that she may not. She may bring something to the table that you don't. I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. We ought to make each other better. And so, with that, I think it's got to get to that place. And I'm like you with that. Sweetheart, you may make more money. Give me an allowance. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just, nowadays, and I say this because mental illness is real out here.
Right.
And people deal with mental illness in so many different ways. So many different ways. They carry a straight face, but it's so many different variables with mental illness and the way that people deal with things, man, out here. Dealing with relationships, dealing with families. And my biggest thing right now is stress. The way that, the men and women, because as you say, society put things out there as if things have to be a certain way.
Right.
You're a guy, you must make 6 figures. You're a man, you got to take care of me this way in order to love me. And you have men out here that, they have the finances to just, hey, here it is. I don't love you, but I give you what you need. Get out of my face. But then it makes it harder for the good guys. That really love you.
Right.
And they're trying to build something with you, and they don't have the finances, man. Why is it that the good guys finish last?
As men, we've been categorized to be just provider, protector, procreator. That's it. And there's more to a man than just, sex, silence, and a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? And so I think one of the things, especially, for the good guys, they always say good guys finish last. I don't know. Does this generation of women really want good guys?
And I wonder that myself. I do. I really wonder that myself, man. I mean, when we talk about relationships in this era, you have the traditional relationships that most families, and I won't say most because everybody comes from different backgrounds, but a lot of families grew up husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, father, son, family. Do you think we're living in an era where the traditional relationships just don't exist anymore? Is it more so two people just find something that works for them, which makes each relationship different? It's just a relationship that works for them, those two people. Do you think that's the world we're living in, or are we just settling?
Yeah, I think traditional relationships can still thrive. It's just that we're now dealing with individuals who are not really experiencing traditional relationships through a different lens. This lens that we're now experiencing is through a social media aspect to where everybody has access to everybody at any time.
They do.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so married, otherwise, a lot of people just don't respect that. And it's so easy to blur those lines. Small DM, this, that, and the other.
Turns into conversation.
Yeah, right. Your high school sweetheart now hits you up after 20 years and not even seeing each other. And you're not going to the reunion.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So now, let's reunite over a cup of coffee, this, that, and the other. Certain things happen. And even I'll go back to the whole aspect of the good guy thing. You know, when I said, you know, I don't know if today's woman wants a good guy. I think she wants a good guy, but he's got to have a backbone.
Okay.
And a lot of brothers, they'll just throw money at you. Oh,
yeah, you know, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Let you walk over them like a doormat. No backbone, no image, no character, no value in yourself, no self-respect to where you let anybody just walk over.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not that she just wants to be totally you domineering and this, that, the other, but can you have a backbone? Can you actually say no sometimes?
Right. Can you be firm? Can you be a man?
Can you be a man?
Can you be a man?
Right.
And the reason I bring that up is because I talk to different people, and I have communication, I have conversation with people, male and female.
Yeah.
And part of me feels that the traditional relationship, it just doesn't exist anymore. I mean, because let's take two working people.
Mm-hmm.
We're working, we're busy.
Yeah.
When do we really have time for each other?
That's true.
We have great conversation when we have great conversation.
Mm-hmm.
When we see each other, we see each other. I don't want things to be complicated. I like what we have.
Mm.
When we get together, we get together.
Mm-hmm.
We have, you know, what's going on between us. However, I just don't want that. It's feel like too much of an obligation.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have certain people over here, I want a relationship. And that's fine for them. Everybody's dynamic works a little different.
Right.
And I see that for me, I'm seeing that the traditional relationships are just not the way to go. Mm. I see people that's been together for years. They don't want to get married.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like, listen, things are great the way they are. And it's a mutual thing. Some of it's mutual. It's like, listen, I just don't want to complicate anything because I've seen other people's experience.
Right.
I like what we have. They've been together 15 years. As soon as they got married, they were divorced in 5. Mm. I see people that just have a friends with benefit thing, where technically, quote unquote, is friends with benefits, right? But it's friends with benefits been 5 years. So they're like almost in like this untitled relationship.
Right.
But it works for them. Do you think that's the world we living in today?
I definitely think that's the world we're living in. I think it slowly but surely that is becoming the norm now.
Okay.
To where people are just settling because, people are tired of being hurt. People are tired of going in circles with people. People are tired of, hey, if I invest this much time with somebody, we get married, this, that, and the other. As a man, he can feel as if he does not benefit if there is a divorce that ensues. Mm-hmm. A woman can say, oh, wow, I gave this much to this man and he cheated on me and, I now feel played.
Right.
It is the whole aspect of love is a risk.
It is every day.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know all the times if there's more reward than there is risk. That depends on the dynamic. That depends on the individual. That depends on how much you want to invest.
Right.
But, love is risky. Love is like anything. It's about like stepping out the door in front of your house each and every single day, depending on based on where you live, and who you get with. So that's why I think, when you're dating, data is necessary. You got to first get the data on yourself, but you also got to get the data on somebody else. You may not necessarily have the grace to be with this particular individual. And it's got to go beyond just, hips, lips, honey dips and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And, how long a wig or a weave is and this, that, and the other. It's got to go beyond that. It's about the character. Because really, you're not dating her cleavage. You're dating her character.
Absolutely.
She's not dating your height. She's dating your heart at the end of the day.
Nicely said. And the reason I spoke on relationships because I see, and you can correct me, I know that you got at least 2 books about relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
One of them, Relationship Rules.
Right.
And I know that you got 13 books. Now, how quick do you remember these books that you wrote? Are these books, once you write them, is it something that you remember just like that off the top of your head?
Yeah, this pretty much seared into my mind.
Okay.
You know?
So with relationship rules, so the people that's out there listening, can you break down some of the relationship rules in no fashion, no order? You know, just some things. You know, and I don't want to be one sided. You know, to target women.
Right.
You know, from a male's perspective, but you know, an equal playing field. What are some relationship rules?
Yeah, and that's why I wrote that book, Relationship Rules, because it's an equal playing field to look at the whole aspect from the male and female dynamic. How to win at love, leadership, leveraging your purpose was the name of the game for that. But one of the rules is love is not enough. And that is, a lot of people get in relationships seeking love. You should never go into a relationship looking for love. Love should be the thread. Purpose is the glue. I don't need you to love me. I'm not needy. I'm needed. You're a benefit. You're not a necessity. Your love that you show me is only going to complement the love that I already have for myself. And if people are trying to fall in love, see, falling into something sound like a trap to me. I don't want to fall in love. I want to stand in love. I want to really stand in purpose with the individual, because I don't think you can expect a purpose partner until you first partnered with your purpose.
You know what I always tell people? For me, what works is when things just happen. I find it to be the most beautiful thing because no one is forced.
Yeah.
It just happens. The chemistry will be so strong that you cannot help but to fall for that person, to fall right into the arms of that individual. That's pretty big. The book Wife. What's that book about?
Yeah, Wife is defined as wisely inspired, faithfully empowered. And I wanted to write that book from the perspective of what a man should look for in a wife.
Okay.
Scripture talks about, who can find a virtuous woman, a price far above rubies. It also speaks to he that findeth a wife, findeth a good thing, obtaineth favor from the Lord. And so I wanted to write about the qualities of a wife, the character, the commitment, the integrity that she has, but also what a man should look for beyond just what's on the outside.
Okay.
About the inside.
Then we got Healing Your Heart.
Yeah.
No, I haven't read the book. I'm just going off the top. Healing Your Heart. Let me guess. It goes deeper than just a relationship.
Yeah.
This is probably got to do with life in general. Hurt, pain, trauma.
Yeah.
In relationships also.
Without a doubt.
How do you start to heal your heart?
Yeah, starting to heal your heart is about addressing what is there that a lot of times we try to ignore. I don't think you can really address what you won't confess. You can't heal from what you won't deal with.
Okay.
Dr. Joy DeGroy talks about post-traumatic slave syndrome, the trauma that we carry as Black people through the line of our ancestors that is really transferred from generation to generation, that in many cases, we just take it and bring it to somebody else based upon those relationships. And so we're not necessarily attracting what we want. We're attracting who we are. Relationships are like boarding an airplane. Too much baggage is going to cost you. Until you deal with the baggage that you have internally and heal, therapy, counseling, taking time to be alone, you're going to take that same baggage to somebody else, and really that baggage is going to become garbage.
So it goes. I just wrote a post the other day when it's like you have to own your truth.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you have to share it, take, and deal with the ugly part of yourself to owning your truth, and then your life will be a lot better.
Yeah.
You'll be a lot stress-free, worry-free. If I own my truth, Dr. Eddie kind of can't tell me nothing no more. He can't throw nothing in my face. He can't talk about me. He can't bring me down because I own mine. I dealt with it. I accepted it, and I moved on. So that's I'm assuming that would be similar to what this whole book is about. Owning your truth. Owning your truth, man. Out of all the books you wrote, man, which one would probably be your favorite book? Or is each book that comes out your next best favorite?
Yeah, my favorite book is the one I didn't write yet.
That's typically how it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear that from actors as well. Some of them say, my best movie is the next movie that I haven't got casted for.
Yeah, that's
because they're constantly perfecting their craft and move forward to the next. So
I'll say I borrowed that line from Tom Brady. He said his favorite Super Bowl is the one that's coming. But I'll say probably My Brother's Keeper, which is a book to men, which is really about the internal value and also the healing and really the maturity that it takes for masculinity.
Okay.
And then one of them, called Unwrap the Gift in You. I wrote that after my grandfather passed, and he'd always told me, he said, Eddie, you never have to tell anybody how good you are. If you're good at what you do, they'll tell you.
Absolutely. I strongly agree with that, man. When you're doing something good, they'll talk for you. Your work it'll speak for itself. Absolutely, it'll speak for itself. Now, how was your grandfather in your life, man? You spoke on him. Was he a strong individual in your life?
Yeah, strong man all the way around. God-fearing man. Fought in World War II for our country. Was an educator as well. Didn't start kindergarten until he was at 12 years of age. He was working in the field in Texas. Was an incredible athlete. Got drafted by the New York Giants. Decided not to play and went into the service and had a family.
Wow.
Yeah.
Drafted.
Got drafted
by the MLB.
No, New York Giants.
The New
football.
York Giants.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Yankees. Sorry. Sorry. I'm not a big. Listen.
Yeah.
I'm not a big sports player.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
A sports fan. Yeah.
I got you.
Wow, he got drafted, man, and chose not to play. Man, that was pretty big, man.
Yeah, without a doubt. And actually ran track and all that, and had a bad heart, and still was able to do all that he did. And just an incredible guy. Taught me how to tie my first tie, and just a lot of traits for manhood.
Yeah, that's the same with my grandfather, man. My grandfather, he was a strong figure in my life, a real strong figure in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about religion.
Yeah.
Let's touch on that, man. Cause I browse through the internet, man. I see you at different church functions. I see you speaking in the pulpit. Are you a pastor?
No,
or you just a speaker? Okay, I'm just asking because I'm just like, okay.
My church would be mad at me if I ain't shout them out. No, I'm not a pastor.
You're not a pastor, okay? No, because I see, like I say, I seen you on the website, preaching at a church or whatnot, and I wasn't too sure if you wasn't. And I said, let me ask, man. You do a lot of you sound all right to not be a pastor to get up there, man, talking.
Yeah,
I want to say that, man. Yeah, goodness gracious, man. You get up there, you got the language, you got the lingo, man. I'm actually trying to pull something up right now, man. To let these people know, man. Dr. Eddie Connor ain't no joke. Y'all want to hear him? He attending the church, man. Like growing up, man, how spiritual were you?
Very, bro. Very. My mother, praying woman, had us in church, man. If she could have had us in church 7 days a week, she would have. It was 6 days, probably minimal. Praying, developing a relationship with God, praying when you didn't want to pray. And all of those prayers, really helped me. She was training me for a battle that I was going to have to face that I didn't know I was going to have to face.
Okay.
And, just that whole aspect of faith, that's been my rock for my life. Yeah.
Are you every Sunday type of churchgoer?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm every Sunday churchgoer. Even, when I felt like I didn't want to, when I said, all right, I'm going to college, I'm going to be my own man, I'm going to do my own thing. It's like that scripture, train up a child in the way they should go. When they're older, they won't depart from it. I just didn't depart from it. I found a church up there, or wherever I went.
Okay. You still found the church. You still found some place to get the word in.
For sure, man.
That's good, man. So let me ask you this. Dr. Eddie Connor, man, what kind of doctor are you?
Education,
PhD in education. Okay, that's good. That's good. Now let me move along to this, man. Dr. Eddie Connor, man, you got so many different things going on. You did this. You've been here. You've been there. But you've been all over national television.
Yeah.
Steve Harvey,
the Lavish T. Williams show.
Absolutely, man. Listen, how do a guy like yourself, coming from where you come from, man? What was your work ethics, and how hard was it to get to these platforms that you touched? And when I say touched, I'm talking about such as the Steve Harvey Show, Fox 2, TD Jakes, being the speaker from here and there, getting a award from the president, the past president. I mean, what was the work ethic, man? And how did these things come about? How did people discover you, find you, see you?
Man, if I'm telling you that everything was given to me, I'm lying to you, man. It was a lot of work, a lot of no's. that I had to see as new opportunity. A lot of rejection that became redirection. I just was relentless in saying, all right, you're not going to give me an opportunity. I'm going to build one for myself. I'm going to write another book. I'm going to hit up something, I'm going to make sure that when I'm speaking at an event, listen, you're going to remember me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got a story to tell. And I just began to just keep sharing the story and over and over and over again. And, there's always somebody who didn't hear your story, somebody who needs to hear your story again. And I'm telling you, man, I'd work through the night. I'd get up early in the morning after writing the book, only a couple hours of sleep, go teach.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody else go to happy hour, and I'm taking the next few hours to just work on the next book. And I'm thinking about where's the next level of my life going to go. It's just a lot of grind, a lot of hustle, a lot of sweat, a lot of tears, a lot of trials that I put into the book to where when you're reading what I'm saying, when you're hearing what I'm saying, you're going to feel me because I'm coming from the depths of my heart and my soul. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's great, man. Sometimes rejection is the best motivation.
Yeah.
I've been rejected a lot.
Yeah.
But I kept going. It was my motivation. When they told me I couldn't do something, okay, who are you to tell me what I can't do?
Yeah, right.
That's my motivation to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept going, man. I just, I sit back and like I say, man, this guy, Dr. Eddie Connor, he got a whole list of work. He got a body of work over here, man, that I'm surprised a lot of individuals have not seen. Because there's still a lot of people that don't know who Dr. Eddie Connor is.
For sure.
A lot of people in your own city. And you've done a lot of work. I mean, so it's like when you got a hometown hero such as yourself, I think more people should actually know and hear of you, man. Lately, what's been going on in your life as far as publicity, getting your name out here, notoriety, meeting people, networking, man. I just seen you was on a show. What was it?
Mentoring Kings.
Mentoring Kings. Yeah. I just seen you was on that, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty big because that's a national show.
Right.
So you're not doing just small time local stuff. People are learning and hearing about who Dr. Eddie Connor is.
Yeah, for sure.
You're being put in places that a lot of people have not been. They're working. How do you do it?
Man, it's good to have a good team. People who actually that you surround yourself with who actually get you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Who really want to get behind your vision and really see that you have something to say to people. And I think it's just really, just an avalanche effect, because you if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Okay.
I just can't write 13 books overnight. This is a years and years, decades on end type of work to where when the right opportunity comes, I'm already prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
120 different stations across the nation with Mentoring Kings to be with, David Mann, Tamala Mann's husband.
Yeah.
Meet the Browns, Medea and all that, Tyler Perry stuff, man. To just be ready to amplify the work and to really have my message down to where, listen, you put a mic in my face, you put me on a TV screen, you gonna be taking pen and pad and notes. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get all of this that I have,
right?
Because this is not something that's cliche. This is from the climactic aspect of what I had gone through to be where I am now. And if I can do it, listen, I'm just not monolithic type one cat, one customer type of guy. It can be done.
You just got to have the work ethic. You just got to go for it, right? If it's in you, it's in you. It's going to come out.
Absolutely.
I don't want to forget about this. I know time's getting short. What were you doing in Africa? You got some type of program, some type of thing that you're doing in Africa?
I was supposed to go to Africa, South Africa particularly, right before COVID-19 hit.
Okay.
And so they have a program over there where I was doing some virtual work with a group 2020 Vision. Some brothers and sisters over in South Africa who got behind my book, supported me. And so wasn't able to get there physically,
okay,
but, was able to get there, virtually and really speak truth to power for the millennials that are there, because the greatest population right now are the millennials. And so our millennial brothers and sisters over in South Africa and just over in Africa, the diaspora, they need just the insight and the wisdom beyond just what they see on social media and BET and MTV and the depiction of what black people really are.
Right.
Really seeing that, hey, they're movers and shakers. They're like brothers like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Sisters who are really doing it, and just they got the tenacity to go out and make it happen.
Man, and you do too.
No, I appreciate
I
it,
mean,
brother.
goodness gracious, man. Tell me something that you haven't done,
Man, I need to get on CNN. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure that I get a $1.5 million book publishing deal. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that'd be grand. That'd be grand right there, man. I guess that's definitely the goal.
I
Man.
need my own show so I can bring you on.
That's definitely a plus. That's definitely a plus. So Dr. Eddie Connor, man, now we got all this serious stuff, man. Let's talk about you and your personal life, man. We ain't gonna go too in depth with it, man. But Dr. Eddie Connor, what does Dr. Eddie Connor do in his personal life, man? How do you enjoy your life outside of the seriousness? How do you relax?
I had to check myself or I wrecked myself because somebody was asking me the other day. He said, "Hey, you got to have some fun." I said, work is fun. That's
the mind. Yeah. That's the mind of an entrepreneur, though.
Right. That's
because
the mind.
I'm the same way, and I had to really learn how to separate. Work from trying to have fun. I need to have fun, because at the end of the day, I could die from stress, because everything is so important. Work, that you forget to live. You don't realize that you're neglecting family, friends, relationships, because you just work. So, how do you deal with it?
I've been trying to get better with that because, as you said, it's beyond just making a living. It's about making a life, and not being a workaholic all the time, which I can be, but taking some time just to refresh myself. Even if I turn the TV off, turn the phone off, and just sit and relax, because sometimes the loudest noise is just the mind that's going on and you're swirling. You gotta just tone it down a little bit and just being with your thoughts to where you're not just living on autopilot. And so whether it's going for a walk, one of my sanctuaries is the gym. You know what I'm saying? Just going every single day, to the gym, taking some time to walk, taking some time. I get some of my best ideas when I'm just walking. When I'm just chilling, man, and just treat myself every now and then, because you talk about mental wellness, you talk about health and wellness, much less, mental health for Black men and self-care.
Yeah.
Not really something that we do. You know what I'm saying? And so I've been trying to do more of the self-care and just take care of me. And you can't pour from an empty cup. I got to put me on my schedule.
You got to.
You see?
You got to.
Yeah.
So you're in the sports heavy. Basketball and football.
Yeah, heavy, man.
Who's your team? Basketball.
Man, I probably got to go college, man. It's hard to watch the NBA, brother.
Man, you know what? When you speak on college, listen, I might not keep up with the sports like that, but college football and basketball is so much more exciting.
Way more. Bro.
It's more exciting than the pros. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
And I also like the southern states. It's something about the bands.
Your brother's ball. Yeah, and those bands.
It's something about those bands, man. I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
Absolutely.
Now, you played in a band, Violin or something like that, right?
Violin back in the day, man. Now you talk about getting teased. I used to get teased for that, man. And I should have been like, why am I getting teased? I'm in the whole orchestra section with nothing but ladies.
So what made you play the violin? Was it something that just happened? Was it something that you were forced to do, that you took a liking to? How did everything, the violin?
That's a good question. I don't even know how I started off with the violin. I got to ask my mom, but I was real good. I probably could have been a hip hop violinist right now. I was really good, man. I played in the Detroit Symphony Orchestra with people 50, 60 years older than me. I was like 7 years old.
No stuff.
Yeah, man. And I was really good. I played by ear too, but even though I could read music, don't ask me to play now. It ain't happening, man. It's gonna be squeaking and all type of stuff. But I really loved it, man. And I just had that musical ear. I love strings. I love music. I'm hearing something in the track that most people not hearing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I got a little producer bone in me. So yeah, man, I just love it. I wish I would have kept it up though. That's one of my biggest regrets.
Oh man, and you like to DJ?
Yeah, man. I like to
DJ.
I might not be as good as you, man. I see you working the ones and twos over here.
Man.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop it.
Yeah, bro. But I love music, man.
So when we talk about this, because I want to be human, and when I have people on the show, man, I want them to be relaxed and just be themselves.
Yeah,
that's the flow of the conversation.
That's the vibe you got, man.
Now, when we talk about Dr. Eddie Connor, we talk about empowerment speaker, a motivator, a book writer, a churchgoer. Yeah. Now, when we talk about music, man, what type of music do you listen to? Do you listen to hip hop at all, or you listen to just different types of music in general?
Primarily, I mean, a lot of times hip hop and and R&B and rap and, you know, definitely gospel. You know, I was just listening to the whole Kim Burrell. If you don't know who Kim Burrell is, man, I mean, I mean, she sings on flat notes and it sounds incredible, man. You know, shoot, I'm an eclectic. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
If it sounds good, I want to explore it. I just love much of my writing comes out of music.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm writing Dear Queen. I'm thinking about, you know, Ribbon in the Sky, Stevie Wonder, Golden Lady, Stevie Wonder. I'm thinking about Queen by Raheem Devon. You know, I'm just exploring all types of musical aspects and try to just grow and bring that all into the aspect of how I write too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, this is something that I read. You are related in some type of way to Prince.
Yeah.
The artist.
My mom,
formerly known as Prince. Okay, so that's your mother. So you're close. Your mother's first cousin.
My mother's first cousin, my grandmother and Prince's father, brother and sister.
Have you ever met him?
Yeah.
Okay, you did.
Yeah,
so you did. He is someone that you actually met.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you had to go, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I definitely got to ask you this, man. Prince or Michael Jackson?
You know what? You asked me this Well, you asked me this prior to his death. I'm saying Michael. Yeah, even though he's my cousin. You know, Michael had so many memories with Michael doing the moves, and you know what I'm saying, and practicing Motown 25, Billie Jean, you know what I'm saying? But I've grown appreciation just for him as an individual, because to the world, he's a celebrity. To us, he's just family. You know what I'm saying? And sadly, my mom and I had to speak at the funeral, where, you know, his urn was out there, and, you know, just hearing all the stories of people he grew up with and other family members who we'd never met.
Yeah.
And, you know, and just exploring his music and just seeing how much of a man he was, but also where his mind was, even politically. I'm going Prince. You know what I'm saying?
I think I want to go Prince too, man. The reason I like Michael, I like them both.
Yeah.
The reason I say Prince is because Prince was more free spirited. That's why I say Prince. Yeah. They both was bad. Michael, I want to say Michael probably got more hits, but Prince, he was himself.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, whatever it was, it didn't matter. He lived outside the box. He did him.
Right.
Michael did too.
You
know, Michael did too. Yeah. But I want to say Prince, man. When it come down to hip hop, man, what type of hip hop are you listening to nowadays?
Man, it's more so I got to go back old school.
I'm the same way.
You know what I'm saying? The stuff that's on the radio now, you can't call it hip hop. it ain't no hip hop, man.
It's
mumble
rap.
Yeah, it's mumble rap. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to come down on the young kids or whatever the case may be. You know, it's different strokes with different folks and generations. But, you know, I want to be able to hear the Nas, you know what I'm saying? And I go back to Pac and Biggie and I mean, Too Short. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? East Coast, West Coast rap.
What would be probably one of your two top hip hop artists?
Hip hop artists, man. Kanye. I've hung out with Kanye. I got some good Kanye stories. But also, I'm gonna go big a Pac.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Pac and Master P.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably Master P first. Probably because his music is more well, both of their music are relatable, but Master P really does it for me. And it goes more than just the music.
Yeah.
It goes the man and the hustle with the music, because the way you hustle this music is the same way that I hustle my towing. You know, with this almost the same strategy. So that's why I want to say that, man. We got Dr. Eddie Connor here, man. Dr. Eddie Connor, man, married, single, dating, girlfriend. You know,
it's in the book.
It's in the book. You know,
no. I mean, you know,
that's probably one of them guy code things where it's like, Lavish, why did you just say that, man?
Nah, man, I think it's gonna come for me. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna come for me. You know, I don't have any children yet, and you know, I recognize that, you know, you got to pass your seed along, and you really need to create a legacy.
Okay.
You know, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So, to be with a wonderful lady that, you know, is going to speak life over me and really want to bloom where we've been planted.
Okay.
Is what it's going to take and what it's going to be. I mean, everybody asks me that, you know.
Okay, so that's good. That's good. It's just not me.
The first one. You know, they ask me when I'm going to get married as if I'm unemployed looking for a job. So, you know.
So when it come to like, and I'm only asking you this because you write books about this stuff, relationship things, empowerment things. When it come down to dating a guy like you, are you different than what you write about in your book? Do you try to, you know, base everything with dating with the things that you write in your book, or are you different, like more human or less human? If I said that right.
Yeah. I'm pretty much what I write about. I'm really cool, calm, and collected. I'm really laid back, but I got a backbone.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Like, you know, I recognize that, you know, you got to have a good connection between the masculinity and the emotionality. You know, us as men, you know, we're very, very logical. A woman's not going to always come from that aspect. So you got to be able to bend for some things, but bending to a place where you're not breaking who you are.
All right.
And, you know, I love to have fun. I love to just be laid back and relaxed. And I'm not really into arguing and all that type of stuff, man. The toxicity and all that jazz, that's not really for me, man. So I'm really into a person who knows who they are, who's also going to give me the space to be who I am.
Okay, I got you.
Because I do work a lot. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, being able to give me that space and place to be able to create and do me and be who I am.
Right.
Without acquiescing who I am. That's a beautiful thing.
I think that's the life of an entrepreneur. And I say that because we work hard. We work long. Right. You know, we have tunnel vision when it comes down to what we're doing, because we don't have anybody else to fall back on. We don't have that 9 to 5. We don't have that 401k. We got to pay into our 401k out of our own pockets and everything like that. But you definitely do see marriage down the road.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was going to go into accident because I know we got to wrap this up, but it goes to say, do you see yourself being a guy who believes in traditional dating, or right now with your life moving the way it's moving, you just deal with what works best for you?
I would like to be traditional because I saw, you know, my grandparents were 64 years together. The only reason, you know, my grandfather passed away, or they'd still be, you know, married earthly wise. But I do recognize that everything can't be so as traditional as it was with them. You know, modern relationships is where it is, but I think there needs to be some traditional elements, and being able to see, especially, you know, with my lady, where she is.
Okay.
You know, what are some things that she prides herself on in the traditional aspect, but also in the modern aspect? You know, when you think about being in a household with your wife, you may have to cook some days.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And you can't be like, oh, well, I'm the man, you're supposed to cook. Da, 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 da. You know, it's being able to go along, to get along in that aspect of, we're building this team together. You know, how can we support one another? Okay,
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I just thought try to get an individual to be a little human. You know, when we on the show. So many times we see shows where they're serious. I want to be serious, talk about stuff, but then also let people know that it's okay to live. It's okay to be human. It's okay for me to go to church but listen to hip hop. It's okay for me to write these books but be human. It's okay for me to own my truth. You know, Dr. Eddie Connor, Dear Queen, Volume 2. Tell them one more time where we can find this book at, man.
Absolutely, man. It's #1 on Amazon even right now. It debuted #1 on Amazon when it came out on International Women's Day on March 8th. One of the best books you're going to read in 2022. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, iTunes, Audible, ebook, audiobook, hard copy. You can even get a signed copy at dreddieacademy.com/Dear Queen.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. And again, as always, I appreciate everybody out there watching, listening, enjoying the show. I hope you like, subscribe, and share this video. We had Dr. Eddie Connor on the Lavish T. Williams show. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Again, as I say, man, I appreciate everybody for watching this show. And I'll catch you next week. Enjoy y'all week. Everybody be safe.